You hear the thunder? Oh, look, honey, it looks like a face. You see that? It looks like the Lord. Look at the crown up there. Like up there, the crown of thorns and one of his eyes and a mustache or mouth. Wow, that's crazy. Lord, you just let me know. Let me know. We're safe in your hands. Wow.
Look at that, boys. Oh.
There's the
Oh
storm
my
chasers
God.
right there. And this is where they were talking about.
They're right over there.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Oh my God.
We have a horseshoe funnel as a
Walls, trees, cars, homes. Little stands in the path of a tornado. This chain of twisters began on Monday. Some gusted at 140 miles an hour. In the state of Ohio, the wind gutted an entire block of flats.
I was screaming, Lord help me, Lord help me. And I heard him say, Sue, we're coming, we're coming. And I saw the flashlight. The neighbor on both sides helped get me out.
Oh my God, it's huge!
So far, more than 130 people have been injured, and one man died when a car, whipped up by the wind, crashed into his home. A weather warning is in place across the United States, from New York State down through the Midwest and as far west as Idaho. Indiana's been hit by 14 tornadoes so far. Ohio's had 11, with more forecast until the end of this week.
We don't have any magic wand as far as me coming in here, and I can't put these houses back together. We have some understanding of what you're going through. We're going to do absolutely anything that we can that you want us to do, that we can do to be of help.
In amongst the carnage have been stories of incredible courage. In Oklahoma City, Preston Black lifted his trailer to rescue his wife, who was trapped underneath.
All the things that were smashing her, I pushed it up with both hands like a bench press. I pushed it all up. And to see her like that, it was awful, the worst thing I could ever see.
Some states have declared major emergencies, helping them to quickly access money to start the cleanup and help those who've lost so much. Katerina Vitozzi, Sky News.
I cambiamenti climatici non sono più lontani, non lo vediamo solo in televisione, sono arrivati da noi, sono qua. L'abbiamo vissuto appunto, ripeto, con la siccità, l'abbiamo vissuto con le troppe piogge e oggi lo viviamo con le cavallette. C'è tutto il mondo che ci sta guardando perché abbiamo un qualcosa che avevamo dimenticato. Oggi quindi bisogna intervenire, bisogna investire seriamente sull'agricoltura e speriamo che almeno le cavallette, con i danni che hanno portato, che almeno però aprano gli occhi a chi di dovere e appunto ci segua in un programma agricolo serio.
The U.S. Navy is giving new guidance for reporting unidentified flying objects, better known as UFOs, giving credence to the belief that something else is out there. While many experts say there are still very earthly explanations for it all, there has been a lot of investigation. National security correspondent Jennifer Griffin has the story from the Pentagon.
4 years ago, on a training mission off the east coast of the United States before deploying to the Middle East, a pair of F-18 Navy Super Hornet pilots captured on their advanced radar an unidentified flying object.
Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly.
Objects with no visible engine or infrared exhaust plumes that reach 30,000 feet and hypersonic speeds. The New York Times reported that during the summer of 2014 through early spring 2015, sightings were nearly a daily occurrence.
You have objects that are doing things, maneuvering in ways without any obvious sign of propulsion.
Last month, the Navy announced it was establishing new classified guidelines for how its pilots report unidentified aerial phenomena. Doing so in the past was considered a career ender. Navy Commander David Fravor remembers the first time he saw one in 2004 flying off San Diego.
Both airplanes see a disturbance in the water and a white 40-foot long tic-tac shaped object just hovering above the water, going forward, back, left, right. There's no rotor wash, there's no wings, nothing.
Some say the sightings began after the Navy installed a new radar system, an upgrade from 1980s era radar. Others say they could be enemy spy drones or a classified program operated by the U.S. government, or weather balloons like the ones found in Roswell, New Mexico, which launched a whole generation of UFO sightings. Commercial pilots have been reporting unidentified flying objects for years.
I don't know what it was. It wasn't an airplane. Yeah, something just passed over us. Don't know what it was.
Funding for the Pentagon's Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program ended in 2012, but now there is new secret guidance about how military pilots should report these phenomena. Brett?
Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. Jennifer, thanks. More on this with the panel as well.
Roger. There's troubleshooting. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow.
What the hell is that? No idea what that is.
So ufoni. You see UFO over there. UFO in Prague. Tak mazat. Teď my vidíme UFO. To se nedá, jestli to tam vůbec bude vidět.
All right, we're here at Marvin's house, and there are two lights up here in the sky. We can't figure out what they are.
Plane coming by.
There's a plane going right by this one. You see the white dot there? It just flew right over it, and he's getting ready to go by right the next one.
They're drifting.
There is. He's getting ready to go right by it. It is right.
Both.
Right now, it's right in the middle of that cloud. It's right there. You can see that dot.
Damn.
It looks like a balloon, but it ain't moving. The clouds are moving, but it's not. If it was a balloon, it should be moving while the clouds are moving.
I think it's moving the other direction.
Alright, bye. Dang.
That is super weird.
It is weird. Wow.
If they're balloons, they're pretty dang big balloons because they were higher than that plane that just went by, right? The plane went under it.
There's aliens out here.
Do you have a thingy?
Because the plane was underneath that stuff.
Aliens. Russian spy satellites.
They're not moving though. That plane was underneath it too. All right, here comes another airplane. Let's see, like.
Two of them. Yeah.
Let's see it.
Oh my God, baby, I love you. The end is near. Look up.
Are you scared?
No.
It's gotta be because, you know, like all of us are together and that never happens.
Oh, there was one airplane that just went by, and the airplane was lower than those things, which you would think.
You see it, Alan?
They have some kind of issue going.
I think those are just drones.
Or
I was looking for dragonflies.
They are higher than the clouds, though, and they're not moving.
Oh no, there's two big beams of light
They
up
are
there.
moving a little bit.
They're barely moving
They're moving.
though.
You just can't. It's like when I tell you
It's
the
gotta
plane's
be
not
like
moving.
a weather umbrella.
I always tell him it looks like a plane's not moving. He's like, they're
Look,
going so fast.
he's going right by that one right now.
All right, I'll show you my shot.
Did you put the chickens up?
Yes, I did.
That is weird hell. I don't know what that is.
You got binoculars? Where's the binoculars?
We need
Oh,
binoculars.
We have some in the van. Actually.
Get them.
Are they in the van?
Well, Bonnie's are.
Now, this week, there seems to be an abundance almost of protest and resistance around the globe. Why is it happening? And why is it getting, of course, so little attention? Because most people don't cover the news, at least not international news. Here, let me take you through some of these. Kazakhstan. A new president was recently elected, and this is how the people there reacted. Watch. Mr. Tokayev won the election with 71% of the vote. Look at what happened on the streets. People seem to think he's too closely aligned to the ex-president, Nazarbayev. He was there for some 30 years, by the way. 500 protesters were arrested. All right, next, let's go to Hong Kong. Put it up. This one was really nuts. I mean, look at this. More than 1 million people take to the streets to protest an extradition law that allows China now to take Hong Kong citizens to face trial in the mainland. Not fair, say the people of Hong Kong, who feel like the days of China ruling over Hong Kong have long passed. And now let's do this. Let's go over to Albania. Can you believe this? I mean, all of this going on since Friday. These protests are because their elections were canceled. The president of the country recently stopped the election. That hardly ever is going to go over well. He said he had to do it to ease the political tensions. Thousands of Albanians took to the streets, some tossing Molotov cocktails at the police. And now from Albania to Moldova. The protest here seems, milder, maybe more peaceful nonetheless. Look at the number of people that take to the streets here. They were called after the pro-Russian president was stripped of his duties. Protesters have taken to the streets, but officially they say it could have been much worse. Still, authorities fear that violence could get worse, and in what is one of Europe's poorest countries. Now, finally, let's take you, staying in this hemisphere, to Venezuela. President Maduro has reopened the border to Colombia. Thousands of people immediately, it's like they knew it was going to come or something. Suddenly thousands of people started crossing the bridge. They're going over there to buy food, medicine, and other household items. Police tried to organize it as best they could so they can get through. Violence has not occurred, but the situation obviously remains tense as U.S.-backed President Juan Guaido continues his claim, I should say, as the president of Venezuela. I know, it's confusing.
Well, did you feel it? There was more than 1,000 small earthquakes in Southern California over the past 3 weeks, called Stormageddon. Yeah, the seismic activity has mainly affected San Bernardino and Riverside counties. But seismologist Lucy Jones tells the LA Times those small earthquakes don't mean the big one is more or less likely. And she says there's only a 5% chance that any single quake will be followed by a larger one. So the experts say we should be, of course, prepared for the big one because scientists know it's going to happen, just not when and where. It's going to happen, though.